When you think about famous people that died young and tragically, you have the legendary rock stars like Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, and John Lennon. But it's not just the musicians that lived fast and died young, like actress Peg Entwistle, who jumped from the age in the Hollywood sign in 1932. Or we have Marilyn Monroe, who died of an overdose on barbiturates. Or Karen Carpenter, who died from a heart failure due to anorexia. Hi guys, in today's video of Historically, our team has worked on age progression of the famous stars that died young. We have imagined them as if they were alive today. Let's start with Kurt Cobain. Kurt Donald Cobain, born February 20th, 1967, died on April 5th, 1994, was an American musician best known as the lead singer, guitarist, and primary songwriter of the grunge band Nirvana. Cobain formed Nirvana with Krist Novoselic in Aberdeen, Washington in 1987 and established it as part of the Seattle music scene, which later became known as grunge. Kurt Cobain committed suicide at the age of 27. He was found dead at his home in Seattle on April 5, 1994. We'll move on to Heath Ledger. Heath Andrew Ledger, born April 4, 1979, died on January 22, 2008. He was an Australian actor who, after trying out in a few TV shows in Australia, decided to move to the US to pursue his acting career. He found success with the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, and later won a posthumous Oscar with his critically acclaimed role as the Joker in The Dark Knight. Sadly, he was found dead after an accidental overdose in his rental in the neighborhood of Soho in New York. John Winston Ono Lennon, born October 9, 1940, died on December 8, 1980. He was an English songwriter, musician, and peace activist who was famous all around the globe as the co-writer, co-founder, and member of one of the best rock and roll bands, the Beatles. The Beatles were shot to fame in the 60s, and they disbanded in 1970. They were very influential. Sadly, John Lennon was shot by Mark Chapman, who was a super fan of him, in New York. His wife, Yoko, said that John uttered the last words, "I said, shall we go and have dinner before we go home?" His death had a huge impact all around the world. Amy Jade Winehouse, born September 14, 1983, and died on July 23, 2011. She was an English singer and songwriter. Amy got her lucky break at the age of 16 when she released her first album, Back to Black, which was critically acclaimed for its use of dark electronic, blues, and jazz genre. Fame, though, caught her unprepared, and she couldn't handle it, the pressure. In her last years, she was under very heavy drug use. She passed away on July 23rd due to alcohol poisoning. Blood results stated that she had drunk more than 5 times the legal driving limit. James Jimi Marshall Hendrix, born November 27, 1942. He died on September 18, 1970. He was an American guitarist, singer, and songwriter. He was mainstream famous for only 4 years, but is regarded as one of the most influential guitarists in rock and roll history. He is often linked with the psychedelic trance of the whole rock and roll life of the 60s and 70s. Jimi is also considered as a one-hit wonder, but to this day, his songs are still covered and sung. Sadly, Jimi passed away in London, UK, due to asphyxiation in his own vomit, while under the influence of barbiturates. Marilyn Monroe, born June 1, 1926, died on August 4, 1962. She was an American sex symbol, actress, singer, and influential model. She became famous for playing the comedic blonde bombshell in her hit movies. She is considered as a sex symbol of the 1950s and 60s and was emblematic of the sex revolution of that era. Marilyn Monroe is linked to a lot of scandals. at the time with presidents, actors, and athletes. She was considered to have had a tragic childhood. She was victim of abuse. Her death was none happier either. She passed away due to barbiturate overdose, and her body was found in her Los Angeles home. Millicent L Pegg Entwistle. She was born February 5, 1908, and died on September 16, 1932. She was a British stage and screen actress. Pegg was a Broadway actress who was on her way to become a worldwide star. She had only starred in one movie, 13 Women, which was released posthumously. Pegg gained notoriety after she climbed on the H in the Hollywood sign and jumped off of it to her death in Los Angeles. Karen Carpenter. She was born on March 2, 1950, and died on February 4, 1983. She was an American singer and drummer who, with her elder brother, performed under the name of Carpenters. Karen is regarded as the woman who had the perfect pitch. She had a distinctive 3-octave contralto vocal range, and she was known to record her songs with a first try, not having to spend much time on the studio. Sadly, Karen passed away due to heart failure, which was brought on by an unpublicized anorexia. She was only 108 pounds when she died in Downway, California. That's all we had for today. If you guys want someone else on this list, please let us know in the comments and we'll do our best to reply. Have a nice one.